Steve from Sneaker Tech Talk, back with another video today. For today's video, we will be taking a look at the performance review of the Jordan Zion 3 SE. Alright, so just getting things started with the Jordan Zion 3 SE version, as you can see right here. As far as the traction pattern goes, now the traction pattern is the exact same as the standard Zion 3s. Now where it does differ slightly is they did kind of alter where the translucent portion is. The translucent portion is now where the herringbone traction pattern is, and then all the other lines are a solid rubber outsole, where it was flipped on the standard Zion 3. And how they perform on court, if you're playing on a clean floor and you're wiping, they're actually really nice. But on dirty floors, or if you're not gonna wipe, you will be sliding all over the floor. This traction pattern is problematic when there is dust on any court surfaces. So for me, on my local gym floors, I was literally wiping every second play just to be able to have a decent traction on the Jordan Zion 3. So for me, it's not my favorite setup at all. I do think it is slightly better than the standard Jordan Zion 3, but it's just not the best setup out there. And coming in at $150 or $160, it is a bit more of an expensive basketball shoe. So as far as the traction pattern goes, in my opinion, I would have to give this a 7 out of 10. As far as the cushioning goes on this model right here, they do come with a drop-in midsole. Now this drop-in midsole is Formula 23. It is very nice and soft underfoot while offering a decent impact protection in the heel and the forefoot. And the reason for that is, in my opinion, is they did change out the standard zoom bag. On the regular Jordan Zion 3, they just had a 4-foot zoom airbag, whereas with the SE, they have full-length zoom. Now it is a very thin zoom airbag, but just coupled with that Formula 23, it offers a very nice springy feeling underfoot. And then in the forefoot, it is actually very close to the floor. So again, Formula 23 drop-in midsole with the full-length zoom, I think it's an upgrade. As far as the overall heel to toe transition in this one versus the standard Zion 3 is better in my opinion, because the Formula 23 is just a overall really nice option with the drop-in midsole. This one here also does not have the midfoot support plate, so you don't have any plastic on this drop-in midsole. It's just the foam and the full-length zoom. And for me, I actually really enjoyed my time as far as the cushioning goes in the Jordan Zion 3. As far as the overall impact protection and court feel, it's very much to my play style and my liking. So as far as the cushioning goes on the SE, I'm gonna have to give this a very solid 9 out of 10. As far as the fit goes in the Jordan Zion 3, now it's the exact same to the regular Zion 3. So for me, my initial performance review, I did in a US size 10.5, and that shoe was just completely suffocating. I found that they run short and extremely narrow. So for the SE version, I did go up half a size to a size 11. Now, as far as the length goes, I did have some room in the forefoot, so the length was good to go, but it's just such a narrow shoe, as you can see right here, in the forefoot and just the outsole in general. I don't know how Zion wears the shoe, just being such an aggressive basketball player on the court. I don't know how he wears the shoe. He must have a custom last for his shoes, because for me, I don't have an overly wide foot, and this shoe is just so suffocating on foot. I had to spend about 2 hours of break-in time with this basketball shoe just so I had no pain on the width in the forefoot. But after that, it was a very snug 1-to-1 fit. I think going up half a size, if you have a regular foot, would be the move. If you have a wide foot, skip this shoe altogether. It's not for you. There's no way you can play in this. Just look at the drop-in midsole at how narrow it is in the forefoot. So as far as the fit goes, go up half a size if you have a regular foot. If you're a wide footer, skip the Zion 3/Zion 3 SE altogether, because there's no way you're gonna be able to play in this model. So for me, I would have to give the fit a 6.5 out of 10, but with this Velcro strap right here, it doesn't help the shoe's width, because you are kind of strapping things down and kind of compressing your foot as far as the width goes. To do with the fit, at the back of the heel right here, they have some really nice Achilles pillows. I don't know if you're gonna be able to see that, but I will post some photos as far as the ankle pillows at the back of this shoe. Overall, that is a very nice touch, but just the overall width of the shoe is a problem for me, and I think a ton of other hoopers. Now, as far as the material goes on this model right here, that's where this shoe is a pretty big upgrade compared to the standard model. So what you're getting here all over the upper is kind of a nubuck material, as you can see. So it is very much a raw material. And then at the back, you're getting some really nice suede. And then running throughout the shoe, you actually have stitching all the way throughout to add some extra support on this upper. I really like the raw materials on the SE versus the standard version, which was just a mesh material. So I think this is very much an upgrade. And then the tongue is very much a nice neoprene material. So overall, the materials on the SE version are very nice. So as far as the materials go, it does take some time to break in because it is that raw material. But once you break them in, they do conform to your foot very nicely. And that's why the SE version is going to score a very nice 9 out of 10. The weight goes on the Jordan Zion 3 SE. This is a US size 11, and these come in at 17.15 ounces. So I believe the standard version is just over 14 ounces. So this is definitely a heavier shoe with those raw materials, the addition of this Velcro strap right here, and then the full length zoom on the drop-in midsole. This shoe is a little bit heavy, all things considered, to today's standard. As far as the support goes in this model right here, starting at the back of the shoe, you do have an internal heel counter, which does a great job of locking your foot in at the back of the shoe right here and just keeping everything very snug and supportive at the back of the shoe because it is a low top shoe. I know a lot of people think you get ankle support from the height of the shoe, but it's actually from having your proper size, snugging those laces up very tightly, and then having a nice supportive plate at the back of the shoe. And you get that here in the Jordan Zion 3. And then moving your way down from that, you do have this plastic plate right here that does wrap up a little bit. And as far as lateral containment and support, that's offering a bunch of support on the side. And then moving your way down further from that, the rubber outsole does wrap up and kind of act as a side wing. So again, when you're making those hard lateral cuts, the plastic and the rubber coupled with this drop-in midsole that does wrap up the side of the foot as well, you're not going to have any issues as far as lateral support. And then again, on the SE version, they did add this Velcro strap right here for some extra support. It does a great job of offering some lateral containment and support here in the SE version. Moving your way down from that, you do have a midfoot and a forefoot outrigger right here to help prevent your foot from teetering over in the Jordan Zion 3. And those things are crucial because the outsole on these are so narrow. So those outriggers are really going to save you if you land on someone's foot. At least that's the reason they're there. So overall, the Jordan Zion 3 is a very supportive basketball shoe. One thing they did take away from the standard version is this plastic TPU plate in the drop-in midsole that did add some midfoot support. You don't get that with the full-length zoom. So this one is a bit more flexible at the midfoot, but all things considered, this is still a very supportive basketball shoe. And then actually right here on the medial side, you have another supportive plate right here. So these actually do have decent torsional rigidity in the SE version. So all things considered, like I mentioned, a very supportive basketball shoe, and that's why this is going to score a very solid 9 out of 10. So that's going to do it for today's performance review on the Jordan Zion 3 SE. I really want to love this shoe, but the overall fit is just so problematic for me and my play style, and the traction, again, it just collects way too much dust. I would really like to see an overhaul on the Jordan Zion line because the 1s, the 2s, and the 3s were all very different, and I would like to see some fluidity in his line from one shoe to the next. Aesthetically, I really love this shoe. I love the drop-in midsole. Just the traction pattern and the fit make this a shoe that just is not for me across the board. If you had a very narrow foot, I would say try these out, as long as you have no problem wiping the outsole like every second play. But all things considered, in my opinion, this shoe is more or less a failure because if I can't make moves confidently on the basketball court and it's not comfortable on foot, it's just not for me. So I would caution and tread very lightly. But like I said, that's gonna do it for today's video. As always, if you guys can like, comment, and subscribe, that definitely helps the channel a ton. And check out my Instagram over at Sneaker Tech Talk, as it is an extension of my YouTube channel with all my pickups, basketball footage, and nostalgia as a whole. As always, thanks for watching today's video, and until next time, peace.